Hi Scorpio, welcome to your September 2023 energy reading. My name is Kimberly from the Path Illuminated. If you are returning, thank you so much for your support. If you are new here, welcome. As I mentioned, this will be a general energy reading for the Scorpio collective for September. So take the messages that resonate and leave the rest. I hope, Scorpio, that you are doing well. I can't believe that we are already at the end of August. It is currently August 31st. We just had the super blue full moon in Pisces. Yesterday, I got out to see it. It was quite lovely. But we do have 7 planets in retrograde: Pluto, Saturn, Neptune, Venus, Mercury, Uranus, and Chiron. So the energies have definitely been intense. So I hope you're taking care of yourself as much as possible. Now is the time for a lot of patience and introspection. As I mentioned, this will be a general energy reading for the Scorpio collective. I will start off with 5 cards for the overall energy. Then we will pull some clarifiers to go deeper, and then we will pull an oracle card to close it out. I am taking personal readings, so I will link my website below. If you are interested, you can take a look at the offerings there. Without further ado, let's get started. I always like to remind y'all that this is your life. You know yourself and your situation better than anyone else, so always trust your own judgment and discernment. And remember, Scorpio, that you have free will. So if something comes out in the reading that you're not super happy with, understand you can change your perspective. You can change how you deal with the situation. You can change how you deal with the person. Nothing is set in stone. So don't forget that, okay? Thank you, angel spirits and guides. Please help me in pulling a clear and accurate message for the Scorpio collective for the month of September. What messages, what feedback, what insights, what advice, what support do you have for Scorpio for September? Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What messages do we have for Scorpio for the month of September? Thank you, angel spirits and guides. What messages do you have for Scorpio? Thank you, angel spirits and guides. Can we get 2 more cards for Scorpio, please? 1 more card for Scorpio. Okay. All right, let's get some clarifiers here. As I sit with these and shuffle cards. All right, why is the sun in reverse here, Spirit? Why is the star here for Scorpio, Spirit? Why is the Ace of Pentacles here, Spirit? Why is the 7 of Swords here, Spirit? Too many cards. Why is the 7 of Swords here, Spirit, for Scorpio? And why is the 6 of Cups in reverse? All right. So first card out, Sun in reverse. So September may have you feeling a little inside out, upside down. As I mentioned, we do have 7 planets in retrograde. So, you know, this just may be a time as we're ending summer, right? As we're going into fall. Things in your life, Scorpio, might start to feel a little more serious, a little less fun, and maybe you're feeling some anxiety about the fall as you're birthday is approaching, which I think for all of us is quite normal. Now, we do have the World here and the Ten of Wands. So what I'm seeing is that there are some big shifts happening within you at this time, and Spirit wants you to recognize that you can't keep doing it all, Scorpio. You cannot do it all. You cannot be it all. You cannot burn the candle at both ends and still be happy, right? And the universe is allowing these situations to happen to help you to recognize this, right? The universe really wants you to know that the world is your oyster, but you cannot move into that energy until you decide to lay down those heavy burdens. Now, just in like taking an overall glance at this reading, I do get the sense that this may have to do with work or like a life purpose situation or like personal development. Next card is the Star. And I think that honestly, this is about Spirit wants you, Scorpio, to realize who you are, but also, Scorpio, to understand that in order for you to shine, you have to understand who you are. And then you have to understand that you are responsible for becoming who you know you've always been meant to be. So you can see the Star, right? This individual is grounded, right? There's one foot in the water, so they're also they're connected to their logic, they're connected to their intuition and their emotions. You know, they are giving back to the earth. They have plenty to pour out and to provide, and they are shining because they have prioritized their own self. They have tapped into the thing that makes them unique. Now, the Star is clarified by the Two of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles. So, Two of Cups. There's a situation, a relationship, a commitment, a job, a contract that is not reciprocal. You are giving more than you are getting back, and Spirit wants you to recognize this. There is an opportunity for you to have an abundant new path forward, but you are the one that has to take it. There's going to be an opportunity. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a new job. I don't know if it's a contract. This is, you know, Pentacles, so it's earth energy. So something is going to be coming your way. An opportunity to start something new, to look at things differently. It may be very challenging at this time for you, Scorpio. The Hanged One, but they're in reverse, right? So when the Hanged One is upright, this is about taking a step back, changing your perspective on the situation. That you're struggling to do that. I think you've just been, whatever this mode is, whatever this job is, you've been stuck in this path for so long that it's hard for you to see past your current situation. Spirit wants you to stop deceiving yourself. The Seven of Swords. You are battling in your mind with where you are versus where you want to be. And I think because you are still holding on to some old ideas or concepts about who you're supposed to be based on family, the culture, whatever, or who you've been, it's been really challenging for you. I think you've been gaslighting yourself into staying in a situation that clearly is not working for you. It's not reciprocal. It's causing you a lot of stress. It's sucking the joy out of you, but you're really afraid on how to move forward. And Spirit wants you to step into this King of Wands energy. Spirit wants you to determine what is your passion, what sets your soul on fire, what actually makes you happy, what motivates you, right? And to move into this place of understanding that anything you desire, anything that lights you on fire, that's the path that you need to be following, Scorpio, right? But you are the only one that can put yourself into this energy, and it's not going to happen as long as you're lying to yourself, as long as you're gaslighting yourself. You can't just say, I'm happy over and over again, and it's going to make you happy in a situation where you're clearly not happy. it's not reciprocal. You're stressed out. Your joy is being sucked out of you. But the Star is who you are, right? The King of Wands is who you are. You have the capacity to find a way out, but for some reason you're just struggling with changing your viewpoint on this situation. And, you know, like I said, we're in retrograde season, so this is all totally normal and there's nothing wrong with taking your time, but it's about like learning how to be honest with yourself about that. I think you're struggling with, so for me, Six of Cups upright is inner child healing, right? You see this individual with a cup full of flowers providing that, right? I think that you are struggling to heal some old patterns, some old thought patterns from your childhood. If you're like me, I grew up very poor, on welfare and food stamps. And so I grew up with financial instability and lack mentality, and have for most of my life been driven by fear, especially when it comes to money. And that's understandable, right? And it can be very challenging when you believe the narrative that has been fed to you by society or by your family, right? When your family has grown up in poverty, it can be very challenging to move on from that, right? To realize that's how I grew up. I'm not in that place anymore. I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I'm capable, I'm resourceful. Look at everything I've done in my life up until now to help build that confidence, right? Because the thing is that our ego operates based on fear, and it's there to protect us. And when we have an inner child, right, that has grown up with trauma and financial insecurity, it behooves us as adults that are healing to ease our inner child's insecurities and to let them know that I am now the adult and I am in charge and I'm going to help us figure this out like we always have, right? Reminding yourself of what you've accomplished so far. You're definitely struggling with that. I do think closer to the end of the month, Scorpio, you're going to start to feel more confident in yourself and your intuition, right? King of Cups, it is masculine energy, and you know, this is not about gender. We all have masculine and feminine energies, but I think like what I'm seeing come through, right, is to embody this fiery emotional energy that you know is within you, and you need to learn to start trusting yourself, Scorpio. You need to look back over the course of your lifetime and start to identify the times when you didn't trust your intuition and things went south, or the times that you did trust your intuition and things have been fine. But also something I say to myself, Scorpio, when I get scared is, I made it this far. Why wouldn't I? You know what I'm saying? Like, remembering all of the things that I have overcome in my life is what helps me to build the confidence to make new decisions and to trust my path forward, especially when I'm making decisions I've never made before, when I am breaking out of a fear and lack mentality, when I'm operating on love and faith in the universe. It's very triggering to my ego and my inner child, right? But I remind myself, well, what about this situation? Look how well you did there when you had no idea, right? What was going to happen when you got laid off, when you left this job, and somehow you worked it out. So why would you not trust yourself now, right? Settling for like anxiety and non-reciprocal situations and allowing the joy to be sucked out of you because of fear. It's like you're doing it to yourself. And I say that with love, right? Because I've been there. I continue to work through these old thought patterns, but you have the magic within you to transform yourself and to transform the situation in your mind. Three of Pentacles in reverse. Let's just get a few more cards. There might be some people in your circle that are not really helping you. They might be distracting you. They might be, what's the word? They might be triggering more of your anxiety. So Spirit wants you to make sure that the company you keep is actually the company that's going to help you get to a new phase in your life. And this is not about being, oh, I'm better than people or whatever, right? It's just that as we shift, as we grow, as we heal and we change, sometimes the people that we have spent a lot of our time with no longer align with us, and continuing to remain in those relationships can be the thing that keeps us stuck, because those people are still operating on fear. Those people are still like, oh, well, no, I have to do this. I have to work this job that I hate for the rest of my life because there's no other option, right? If that's what they believe, they're going to feed that to you. They're going to gaslight you every time you bring up the fact that, like, I'm stressed out at this job, I work too much, I'm not paid enough, I'm sick, I'm tired, I'm stressed, da 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 da. They might be like, oh, well, that's just the way it is, right? You need to be around people who are on the same type of path, different but similar, in the sense of like, yeah, you need to prioritize your health. You deserve to be happy. Let's spitball like what you could possibly do. You are going to be coming out of overthinking at the end of the month. I just think that September is going to be really, really triggering, and potentially some things that you've been suppressing or trying to ignore, or things that you've been trying to sweep under the rug, they're really going to start to come to the surface, and it's going to come to a point where you really don't have a choice but to face the fact that, like, something has to change. Yeah, the situation that you're in, the job that you're in, it's actually not providing you with the stability that you think it is. It's an illusion, right? Because let's just be clear, there's no such thing as a stable job. And at the end of the day, a company does not actually care about you. And if they decide that you're not worth the money, they're going to cut you without a second thought. So you need to make sure that you are being just as ruthless, especially in your financial situations, as the company that you're in. Page of Swords. It's time for a new perspective. It's time for a new path forward. It may be scary because you've never been here before. Take the time to consider it, right? Like, yes, things may still be unclear at the end of September, Scorpio. But I think that it has to do with the fact that you really need to get your mind and your heart right first. You need to get into the vibration of accepting that, like, this situation is no longer working for me. It's not making me happy. It's stressing me out. The people around me don't understand. They're gaslighting me. They're making me more fearful, right? Like, they're not helping me figure out what's next. They're not creating a safe space for me. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I deserve better. And it's like, as soon as you decide that you deserve better, you can start working through whatever fears you have with your inner child. If it's around lack mentality, financial insecurity, like, you do not want to be making your life decisions, Scorpio, based on fear, because that's going to keep you stressed out. That's going to keep you unhappy. That's going to keep you in situations that are not actually stable. They just appear to be. But if you're unhappy and you're stressed out, like, is that really a good situation, Scorpio? I don't know. Can I get one more card for Scorpio here? King of Cups again. You need to trust yourself. You need to trust your intuition. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, Scorpio, but you are a highly intuitive sign, and you need to start trusting that about yourself. Like I said, I think your homework, Scorpio, for September is to take this retrograde period to look over your life and the past. Think of all of the times where you were scared, where you were stressed out, where you didn't know what you were going to do because you were laid off. You didn't know what you were going to do next because you quit. You didn't know what was going to happen because you didn't know where the rent was going to come from, right? And somehow you made it. Am I wrong? Also, I want you to think about all the times when your intuition was on point and you didn't listen and you suffered because of it. You need to repair this relationship with your inner child, with your intuition, so that you can get to this King of Cups place of where you are tapped in, you are grounded, and you can hear your inner voice and follow that path forward so that you have an abundant new future. Do not hold on to this situation, this job, simply because of fear, because that's going to continue to suck you dry of your joy. And you deserve better, Scorpio, but you are the one that gets to decide that. Love yourself through the process. These transitions are not easy. I have been there. I understand. It's not easy to walk away from a job or a career that you've had for a long time, but sometimes you have to accept that, like, it's gotten me this far, but I want something different. I deserve more. And staying in this, it's like, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, right? That is the definition of insanity. You can't continue to work at a dead-end job, a job that takes advantage of you, that sucks you dry of your life force, your joy, your health, and think that that's going to change, right? If you are unhappy, if you are stressed out, if you are overwhelmed, and you have been, and you continue to be, why would that change? What does that mean? You are the only one that can change the situation, Scorpio. So you have to identify the reality and then work through your own fears and start to build the trust within yourself and remind yourself of how much you've already come through and how much you've already accomplished, because you're going to figure it out like you always do. Moon candy. This mandala was created during the Indian celebration of Navratri. The sacred feminine energy coming through this triple moon symbol is very present around you, bringing a little bit of chaos among the order. But do not doubt its healing power. It's all about knowing yourself better. Encountering new challenges will help you redefine priorities and connect with your deepest strengths. Just like the ocean tides, the cycles of the moon influence your emotions in ways you can hardly imagine. Take the time to step back and recognize what really comes from you and what simply is channeled through you in synchrony with the current waves of energy. Connect with yourself, Scorpio. Go deep. Identify the painful truths. Love yourself and your inner child through your own insecurities and fears so that you can start to grow past them and rebuild your faith in yourself and spirit. I hope these messages resonated for you, Scorpio, and I'll see you next time. Bye.